Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of our podcast. We're continuing with our chakra series. We've come to the fifth chakra, which is vishuddha, or the throat chakra, which, as the name mentions it, is located near the throat or in your throat. I'm not sure exactly, but Monica will tell us more about that. We're gonna do the same thing, kind of talk about what it means to be unbalanced in this chakra and how you can balance it, and what are the benefits, and what would be some poses, and maybe I don't know how you could recognize this if someone is at this level potentially. I don't know. We'll see as we go on. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, hi Alex and hi everyone. Vishuddha chakra is located at throat level. In visual representations, it is illustrated as having 16 petals of the color blue. And its bija mantra is hum. So this is the sound that we make when we're meditating upon Vishuddha chakra, trying to balance the energy at this level. So this chakra, this energy center is known as the purification center, where we have a liquid called amrita, and this amrita is nectar. It is something juicy and sweet, and it is a liquid that illustrates our power, our purity. It can also be poison if it's not managed properly, they say. And in its most abstract form, it is associated with creativity and self-expression. But this is very interesting because if you remember back from the second chakra, Svadhisthana, which was at sexual organs level, that type of creativity is very different than the creativity we find at Vishuddha chakra level. So this is more pure, more absolute, more intellectual, superior, basically, than the earthly, banal type of creativity that we find at Svadhisthana level. So this chakra is so powerful, and the energy imbalances here, the energy imbalances here are so impacting for us, they say, that it is believed that if it's closed, or if it lacks in energy seriously, the person undergoes decay, physical and mental decay, and even death. So when it is open and when energy flows freely at its level, they say that it's so powerful that negative experiences that we go through are transformed into wisdom and learning. So whatever terrible thing happens to us, we're able to learn a lesson out of it, and master it, so that it's rather a teacher for us rather than something that destroys us. So I'm only trying to express how powerful it is and how impacting it is. But yeah, sometimes words fail us. It's also not the most superior chakra, if I can put it this way, but it's still very powerful. So it's so powerful, they say, that the success or failure in one's life depends upon the state of the energy in this chakra, whether it's polluted or whether it's clean, so to put it. Another one of my favorite things to mention about Vishuddha chakra is this feeling of guilt that in some culture is prevalent, that in some genders is prevalent more than in other genders, if I can put it this way. And depending on your, character, state of mind, emotional development. You might be living with a constant fear of guilt, or you might feel guilty for no reason very easily. So they say that this feeling of being guilty, or feeling guilty, is given as the most prominent reason for this chakra to be, okay, maybe not blocked, but unbalanced. So another important thing is that Vishuddha chakra is associated with Akasha, which is the element ether. So it's not, air, earth, water, and so on and so forth. Svaristana was with water, by the way. So we have the ether here, which is everything that surrounds us. And also, because it is at this level, right, at throat level, it is obviously associated with everything that's connected with the action of speaking. And the consequence of speaking is hearing, right? Hearing what we say, listening to what we say. So it's all about speaking, hearing, throat, ears. To do the twist into the physicality of it all. Honestly, I think it might be my favorite chakra to study or talk about. And you know why, Alex? Because I have sensed throughout my life several symptoms of it being unbalanced. And I could infer or establish that it was because of this energy not being entirely balanced at Vishuddha chakra level. And it is probably, for me, it was the easiest to notice. Let's put it this way. So how do you have you ever felt anything that's weird in that area, or that you can speculate it was about Vishuddha chakra, or not really?
Not really, and I was actually going to ask you, how did you know? Because that's interesting. Um, I didn't, so even if it was the case at any point, I wouldn't know. But I wouldn't know how to know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it does. I I have trouble when I am in a circumstance where I cannot express myself or my thoughts due to various reasons. So not because of my inability, but because the circumstance does not allow. And then the fact that I have not spoken my mind has consequences upon my body. So this is, to me, this is clear that the more I block my self-expression, the bigger the consequences are. And this lack of expression translates upon my body. I get throat pain, neck pain. I get sore throat, of course. I stutter. I do a lot of my voice has a different sound. It amplifies differently. I get rashes upon my body in this area. So I have honestly come to understand that it is best to express myself, maybe not in that circumstance when it is forbidden or inappropriate or uncalled for, or it will have very bad consequences if I do it. But I need to find like an outlet for me to say what I have to say, and for me to express what I need to express in a different circumstance, in a different way, via a different channel, because if I don't, then I will suffer the consequences. And this has happened so many times, it's a bit scary. So I just need to let it out. I don't know why this is obvious to me, but it is. And yeah, that's how it is. I honestly don't think there are any other energy centers that are so obvious to me when they're unbalanced. This one is for some
Right.
reason.
Right, I see. That's really interesting. Yeah, I don't think I ever had that, but that doesn't mean necessarily much in, different people will react differently, I'm sure. But I was just thinking
Which,
about the things you were saying, and yeah, I don't think I've had that. Um, Maybe but that just might be a habit. That might just be the thing I do. Um, as I just
yeah.
did it. But outside that, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I've noticed this. That's not to say that I always speak my mind in every circumstance, because there's always going to be cases where you have to kind of, well, I try to, I guess, but maybe not speak it completely, right? You have to censor some stuff or just be able to function in society.
Yeah, otherwise, how can you cannot speak your mind every time, right? What else? What would happen? I mean,
Well, I mean, yeah, you can try. I
imagine,
think
just
that's
imagine.
right, right, right. That's true. I think it's a noble goal to try and do it every time, but yeah, I think sometimes you have to, well, yeah, not do it, or maybe if you do it, I think just be very, be conscious of what's going on around you, who's listening, who you're talking to.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe contain yourself
Hmm.
to some
Hmm.
extent.
Hmm.
Um, because in the quest for speaking our minds, we might seriously hurt others. I think, yeah, and that's not even the worst part, but yeah, that can happen. So about the person who has a very balanced vishuddha chakra, they say that they are their own master, and that they if when you have vishuddha chakra as being dominant in terms of how the energy is distributed in your body, they say you'd rather be alone, and there's this tendency to isolate yourself, if it's the case. Also, they are not a person to badmouth anyone, to talk bad, talk ugly about others, and it's a special energy that they're in the sense that before they speak their mind, they really count their words and measure their words and make sure they don't have bad consequences upon whoever's listening. So they assess the impact of their words. It's something almost ecstatic, they say. So they are simply unable to consider to consider being deceiving or saying hurtful things. Long story short. Also, they say they're quite aloof, and they lack interest in very mundane things, such as money or sex or fashion or these mundane things, these superficial consumerist things. And they transcend towards knowledge, towards joy, and also towards pure truth. Because if you think about the energy balance within or at the level of Vishuddha chakra, of course, it's about speaking and hearing and the consequences of that. But if you think of speaking, Vishuddha chakra is also about the truth. So we don't not only speak, but we speak the truth. We speak what's real, what's true, and we cannot not do that. We cannot not tell the truth. We cannot not be truthful and speak the truth. That's what they say about people who have developed at this level. And they say if we think of great scientists, they have a very developed energy at Vishuddha chakra level, in the sense that their work, study, and life is developed and wrapped around the truth. They are the witnesses of truth and the truth tellers, right? Science, pure science, facts. And also, apart from this truth, be it scientific or not, and the impossibility to not tell it, They say these people are also fans of the higher aesthetic and a very different aesthetic that we find at Svadhisthana chakra level. So completely opposite for to this petty, if I may say so, creativity that we find at Svadhisthana. So if we think of Leonardo and Michelangelo and the big geniuses of art and aesthetics, right? They say they for sure had a lot of energy at Vishuddha chakra level. So it's basically divine manifestation. The divine manifesting itself through these people constantly. So that's where we are. And if we think about the blockages, about what makes us, about the consequences of having very low energy at Vishuddha chakra level, obviously it's the commonsensical thing, right? The commonsensical things such as laryngitis, sore throat, um, difficulty in communicating with others, an intellect that's oriented in the negative direction, the person who always moans, who always complains, who always sees what can go wrong with everything. And what's more, those who lack energy at this level, they say that they have the tendency to use their knowledge in the wrong way, in the immoral way. So, what else is here? The thyroid, of course. This is problematic after a certain age, and mostly women more than men, I would dare say. We start having thyroid issues and the thyroid starts acting up. We have a coarse voice. We have neck pain and jaw tension. Yeah, so this is how it looks, how to put it from a physical point of view. And I mentioned earlier the ears. So due to its associating with hearing, it's related to the ears, and due to its association with speaking, it's associated with the mouth. So whatever, it's easy to understand that whatever ailments we have here, we can speculate that they might be connected to some imbalances in Vishuddha chakra. Yeah, and obviously, if
Yeah,
we
and
think about that, yeah,
mm,
go on.
I really heard about this whole speaking the truth part of it. And I think that's really important, right? So, if nothing else, if the physical ailments may or may not be, I guess, connected, right? Or you may or may not have them. As I said, I don't recall having any of these, or maybe there were and I just didn't realize it, right? But I think the most important part might be this, like speaking the truth. So if nothing else, maybe for this you would like to balance it or try, right?
Yeah, totally. I feel the same, and I think if you're one of those people who are very moral, who are, on the side of justice, and who are really striving to do the thing that's just right, and who are holding others against this very high standard of them aiming to do the things that are just right, or both just and right. Yeah, we should aim to have plenty of balanced energy at Vishuddha chakra level. Um, Having said, that, and turning back to the thyroid gland a little bit. So this is obviously one of the very important endocrine glands in our bodies, and it's said to be some sort of dashboard of that commands others and the entire body and whatever. So it produces hormones that are essential for growth, for maturation. So excessive stress, and especially the stress that's caused for not being able to speak up, to speak your mind, to express yourself, especially this kind of stress, this seriously affects the throat chakra. the Vishuddha chakra, and thyroid problems may occur. And it's interesting because one of the best things that is supposed to be regulating energy at Vishuddha chakra level is actually singing. But it's not the type of singing that you're good at. It might even be random sounds, karaoke, stupid, silly sounds, humming, whatever you can produce in this area and with the body parts, with the organs, with that, that where the sounds are incoming from this area. It actually, it's actually supposed to be regulating the energy at Vishuddha chakra level. So this is a very beneficial way of stimulating Vishuddha chakra, singing or making sounds, uttering sounds. Remember the chakra hum? We started with it. Whereas rubbing or hitting this area is not supposed to help. For instance, I always pay attention when I do my skincare routine. I always massage my neck and my cleavage and my face, and I always try to not hit too much this area. Obviously, it might look or feel or sound silly, but I guess it's not costly to pay attention, and not harm it in any way. Just be delicate and mindful about it. So there's also, by the way, this was not in my notes or in my thinking, but I just remembered it. There's a very interesting pranayama technique, a breathing technique that's called Brahmari pranayama, and you cover. Have you heard of it?
I've heard, yeah, but I think it would be good to talk about what you
Yeah,
actually do.
it's beautiful, and for me personally, it's quite it has a profound effects. So you're supposed to be covering the organs that are connected with your senses. So whatever you sense, you're surrounding your medium with. So the ears, the eyes and the nose, not all at one time, but yeah, you need to block them a little bit, and then it's just simply the fact that you make a hum sound inside your throat, and this stimulates this area a lot. For me, it's very beneficial. I mean, beneficial, yeah, it might be if I would be doing it constantly or daily or several times a week or whatever. But if I do it for a few tens of seconds, I already feel that it's making me feel good, and more at peace and more connected with myself, this Brahmari pranayama. So for sure, if we look at how it's done, for sure it's meant to stimulate energies at Vishuddha chakra level. Yeah, so this is, as a yoga technique, that's one of the pranayama of the breathing techniques that stimulates energies at Vishuddha chakra level. And of course, we have the asanas to balance it. And here we have obviously asanas who expose or stimulate this area at throat level, right? Such as, if we think of twists, such as Ardha Matsyendrasana, we call that half Lord of the Fishes, where you have your shins intertwined, and with the help of the palm that's behind your buttocks, you twist your entire spine, from the base of the spine up to the cervical spine, even at the up until the crown of your head. So if you twist all of that spine, then this area, it compresses itself. It seriously compresses itself. And then when you release it in Ardha Matsyendrasana, it's infused with fresh blood to energize it more, with more nutrients. So yeah, that's one of them. What else do we have? Matsyasana, which is fish pose. It's the one where you lie on your back, with the arms behind your back, and you expose your you show off your throat area, and that sends a lot of energy there and stimulates that area significantly. And on the other hand, that's one thing. And then the other thing is it's the opposite, where we compress it, right? And that's some inversions, such as the supported shoulder stand, Shalamba Sarvangasana, and the next one, which is a plow pose, Halasana, where you are, with your legs behind your head, resting on the mat, on the floor, and you compress your throat chakra. There's also a bandha in Ashtanga Yoga. In Ashtanga Yoga, we sometimes keep the Jalandhara bandha with a very straight spine. You lift your chest towards your chin, and simultaneously you push your chin toward your chest. So you have this compression here that keeps it tight. Yeah, we have the reverse lotus, the Urdhva Padmasana, also from Ashtanga Yoga, where we hold Jalandhara bandha and we have the shins crossed. And speaking of breathing techniques, we mentioned Brahmari pranayama, and we can also mention, and you know this for sure, and I remember you like it, Simhasana is lion's breath. Yeah, so that's so much about this, right? So much about that's a lot about Vishuddha chakra. It's
Yeah, I think it's all, with all the chakras in the asanas, it's about moving that part of the body, so to speak. Maybe less so in the throat chakra, because it's in this one you're talking more about compressing it in different
yeah,
positions, right?
yeah,
Rather than just moving your neck.
either this or this.
Um,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right. But in
Yeah.
general, I find that for the specific chakra asanas, it's usually moving that part of the body, right? Or compressing it in this case, or just working with that part, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because obviously it moves things up. It stirs the energy up, right? In that area. That's why we do yoga in the first place. I mean, it is one of the purposes, the objectives, and one of the consequences of it. The more we move, and the more we move in specific ways, the better our overall health and energy is. So yeah, which reminds me, I should be heading towards a quick practice today because I didn't manage to do anything so far. So just a busy day. You know how those are.
Well, as long as you can, make it happen, that's what matters, right?
I'm trying.
It's the best you can do.
Yep.
And yeah, anything else, Monica, you want to add to this before we close this chakra down, so to speak?
Yeah, let's never close it. No, I don't think I have anything else to add. I was just curious to see maybe in the comments, or if you have some insights regarding how you guys are feeling, perceiving, sensing, acknowledging your energies and how they manifest in very specific parts of your body in chakras. This is to say, in the very chakras. Just let us know, because obviously we cannot expect everyone to feel the same or to be the same. So it's different for all of us, and obviously you cannot go about roam the world and expect to feel the energy in your chakras or whatever. So some of us might never experience that, but it's interesting to study and to be aware. And sometimes when we feel something at some point, we can speculate and understand more and see how we can better take care of ourselves. So yeah, if anyone would like to share about their experiences with the chakras, I would be delighted to hear, especially because, Alex, what's following is even more, how to put it, less palpable. in a way. It
Right,
gets
exactly.
the higher
Yeah.
we go, the less palpable it is.
It's on purpose in this order, I guess, that we
Yeah.
studied and that
Oh
they
yeah.
are. Yeah.
You start at the base of the spine, and the energy, the Kundalini energy, rises all the way up um, in the chakras, and it gets up to Sahasrara. So yeah, that's not very
Yeah.
often that you get to feel that.
So
If
stay
ever.
tuned for that. Yeah, for the less palpable ones coming up.
Uh,
All right. Well,
okay.
that was us for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll
Thank
see
you.
you next time with a new episode. Bye.
Bye.